What's up, everybody? I'm here with Ryan again. We're at episode 4 of Micro Communities, and we're going to talk about audience engagement primarily on the platforms that we sell online from, like eBay, Amazon, and Etsy. So, audience engagement. What is audience engagement, and what's the importance?
Well, when you're building a brand for your business, if that's a primary thing you're trying to do, then you're definitely going to need to engage with all the people that are in your micro community, whether it be customers of your product or whether it be potential customers of your product.
Mhm.
Anybody that's related to the product you sell that might be like, hey, I would buy that. You need to make sure that they know, you're there. You want to take up some valuable like presence in their mindset when it comes to that community.
Does that mean a
Uh,
lot of cold DMs or like basically cold emails, but on the DMs, or what does that look like for you?
so I find the easiest way to kind of explain how I do it is just to, go over how I did it in the two businesses that require this. So
Mhm.
in one of the businesses, I do some cold DMs. That's the one in the marijuana industry. In the disc golf one, I haven't done any cold DMs. And the difference and the reason that I've done just some cold DMs in one and not the other is because disc golf industry is like it's a very broad industry. It's like there's millions of people that play disc golf. It's like if you're sending out cold messages to these people and if it's not a super tight knit community, even though disc golf is super tight knit, it's not.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to be sold to. So for the disc golf case, I don't send out messages being like, hey, check out my product, because from there, Instagram or Etsy, well, Instagram or I guess probably Instagram is what I use the most, or Reddit.
Mhm.
Um, you could get banned if you send out too much cold
Mhm.
stuff. Instagram will be like, hey, people have been reporting you for spamming their message box. Like maybe your Instagram will get shadow banned, and we could go over
Mhm.
that later because I've had that happen,
Mhm.
and that's unfortunate. But in the marijuana community business that I have, I did do cold call or cold messaging, and that was the primary source of engagement at the start of my business. And the reason it worked so well is because in that community, it's not just for the marijuana community; it's for a very, very specific sector in that community. So when I would make a message, I would mainly I'd make this long message and then copy it to my clipboard and go through people in the marijuana community. And when I found people that were using this product that I sell already, that is when I would do a cold call message, not a call, but a message.
Yeah.
Um, it's cool. I've never gotten reported because I made this message look very friendly. I made it look like even though I'm selling something, it's like, hey, I'm reaching out. I'm part of this community. Um, in the message, it says like, hey, I recognize that I follow you and I see that you use this. Like, I've also been using this for 10 years plus, and I created my own. It's just me. It's not a big company, and the prices are good, and just want to let you know. And if you want 20% off, 15% off, respond
Mhm.
to this message, and we'll hook you up. So
Mhm.
that's what I did in my initial start. And I was sending those out and out, and probably getting like a 7% return response, which is pretty good. Um, any response is good if you get a
Mhm.
sale from it. Yeah. So that's what
So
that's what messaging your audience is.
you mentioned a really good point, and it's that you did do a lot of cold DMs in the marijuana industry product, but then in the um, a disc golf product, you didn't do a lot, and so it really depends on what product you're selling on how you're gonna reach out to an audience. Because, like you said, if one audience is like too saturated or isn't as tight knit, or for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. So you got to find a different way to reach out to those type of audience. And that, I guess, so depending on what product, you need to be identifying how to really reach out to that specific audience. It sounds like.
Yeah. And I could. I could probably work on doing some cold messaging on the disc golf side of things. Even though I don't think it would be as successful as the cold messaging on my other business. But it is time consuming. You have to find people that might have an interest in your product, and then you have to message them, and then maybe they're like, oh, you've been doing this, and maybe they want to have conversations, and it can end up being a lot. It could be a pretty big time consuming part of
Mm-hmm.
making a business.
When
So yeah.
oh, I was gonna talk about some of my eBay stuff. I've sold a lot of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and random memorabilia stuff on eBay, and I necessarily don't cold message a lot, but there is a contact buyer set little button on eBay, and you can contact a buyer, and if they're selling something that you want, or you are selling something that you think that they want, you can just click that contact buyer button and reach out to them. And another way to contact an audience would be if somebody buys something, then to like you get the chance to email them and say, hey, I'm going to ship it out tomorrow or ship it out today. Thanks for buying. Like sometimes when I buy something from eBay, like there's this really well written, personalized message that like comes across like really genuine. And then there's these other messages that just come across like they just copy and pasted this super general response, and that doesn't feel as genuine. And it sounds like you try to be genuine on like your cold DMs like as much as you can on the marijuana product, because it doesn't look like spam. Because I get those spam things on Instagram, and I just look at it, and it's just like immediately
Instantly no.
I know they didn't just write that for me, so I just delete it immediately. So
Yeah.
you got to be somehow genuine, and it takes time. Like you said, it takes minutes to formulate these messages. So that's, and if you're only getting 7%, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. For me, when I was starting the business, it's like I had this product. I was like, okay, I have this product. It's on Amazon. I don't have any experience in like business stuff. So I was like, how do I get people to buy this? I'm just going to start cold messaging people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got started. And, at the beginning of making a business, it was the time I had the most time to spend on this, because it's like, I'm just starting, like I got my product up. That's the big time consuming thing, is having your product available for sale. And now
Mm-hmm.
it's like I wasn't working a 9 to 5, I was either traveling throughout some different countries, like hostels and whatnot. And it's like that's a perfect place to do it. If you're at a hostel, or if you're at home, if you're on a lunch break, anything, you just go on your Instagram and you explore the community, and you could just send out some cold messages, see how it goes. If you're not getting responses, if you get people, if you have a product and you're thinking about attempting this, do cold messages. When I would say 100%, just toss them out there, do a couple of different formats and see what the response is. People will let you know. If you send them something and it's just some BS, maybe they won't pay attention. Maybe they'll respond saying like, hey, take me off your list. I don't want this, this BS or whatever. I don't want to deal with any of this. Um, or you may get a response of people being like, in a good mood, being like, oh, that's cool. I like what you have here. I like that you're a small business. I would like to support you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, One thing I've did in the disc golf community or business that I have is I would go on Instagram and I would make these custom like pieces of art. It's a disc golf mini marker, and I would post them for sale right on Instagram. Ain't crazy?
Yeah.
I would post them for sale right on Instagram, and I'd be like, "Hey, here is what I made. Um, if anybody wants it, first message gets it. It's $25 or whatever the price is. Mine was a custom like piece of art, so it's like I don't know. It was special, so I would post those maybe once a day, and I would get if it's a really good one, I would get a bunch of responses. I'm gonna only be able to sell it to one person because I don't have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Um, but in that same time, let's say I post my best thing I made, I get 14 people messaging me being like, hey, is that still available? And my response is, somebody already got it. I do have a website. I also make custom ones, and I send them the information there, and if you're interested, I could always make more. And that's engagement with 10 potential, like high percentage potential buyers, because they reached out to you to buy one already, so they're
Totally.
interested. um so from there I would get like 10 potential buyers, and maybe 3 or 4 of them would go onto my website, at least check it out. On my Shopify website, you can see the engagement, so you can see like the things you're doing, how many people are attracted to the website from there. So
Oh,
when I
that's good
started,
data.
yeah, when I started doing that, I would link my website on Instagram to these people, and on my Shopify, I would see like my outreach from Instagram start growing.
Whoa,
It's
yeah.
cool. You could see that. I could see my outreach from Reddit. I could see my outreach from Facebook. Wherever the customers are coming from through Shopify, it's free. You can
Wow.
see, yeah, where you're getting this engagement. You can see what time you're getting this engagement.
Mhm. So
Um,
useful. That's so useful
yeah,
for seller.
yeah, for sure. So you
Hmm.
just, you want to build that up. If you're like, for instance, on Reddit, I posted, one of my coolest things, and it got a bunch of likes. It had like, I don't know, it was like 800 likes or something, because it was a really cool one.
Wow. Yeah.
And maybe about like 40 comments, just discussion, random things that people said. And in there, I actually snuck. I went on to my other Reddit. I'm just trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Whatever, call it sneaky, call it whatever you want. I'm hustling. I got
Uh-huh.
onto a different Reddit, and if I would have posted on the Reddit like, this is what I made, like you could buy it on my website, the Reddit community would, and I've experienced this, I learned this by experience, would totally shut down that post. You wouldn't get likes. You're trying to sell stuff.
They're like
Red,
me. People are trying to be sold too. They're like, nah.
the moment they have a hint of something trying to be sold to, literally like anything, I post a watermark, my
Mhm.
tank plummets. It like my post plummets. It's like
Whoa.
it has to be the most natural thing. So I would post the pictures of my of the product I have, and I would go onto my other Reddit account, and I would just say like, hey, those are cool.
That's
Where
so
can I
brilliant.
find those?
Whoa, that's brilliant.
Small comment underneath that from the original post, hey, I make this one sold. You can't buy this one, but I have a website. I'll link it here. And now, this has 800 likes on this picture that I have on Reddit. It doesn't show me trying to sell stuff. It's not, it's like trending on Reddit. So people in disc golf. So people
Mhm.
are scrolling down disc golf on Reddit. They see this. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like 50 comments. Like, let's just see what they have to say. And they click it. And then because I responded pretty early, like asking for it, it'll be towards the top of the comments, and it'll have a link to my website. So if any of those 800 people that liked it, potentially, if they went to the comment section, they would know how to find my product.
That's huge. That's
Audience
so
engagement.
big. Audience engagement. And there's one other way of audience engagement that I think we could mention, and it's something I learned from the Gary V. He calls it the $1.80 strategy. Basically giving your 2 cents on 90 different posts. He says to do this every day, but which is giving your 2 cents on 90 posts is a lot. It probably takes, an hour or two, but the gist of it is powerful. So if you are wanting to sell things in the disc golf community, then you would go to people in the disc golf community on their Instagrams, right? All different Instagram disc golf accounts, and then and comment on their picture and just say like, oh, rad post, like I love this disc, like this is such a good disc. And like the point of the $1.80 strategy is to not ask for anything. It's to only give value and to just share stoke and enthusiasm, hoping that somebody will appreciate your post, click on your account and follow you, and then maybe later on buy your thing. So the $1.80 strategy is not to just ask, hey, go to my link in bio. It's to just spread awesomeness, spread good energy. And if you really spend multiple days a week commenting just great things on other people's accounts that's similar to your interest, they'll probably start following you, and then you could throw some right hooks later on and start asking them for products like once they're in your community. So that's a part of engagement and part of audience engagement that I really I'm really for, is just reaching out to people and giving your 2 cents and saying cool things, and then they'll come back eventually.
Sure. I agree with that 100%. I do that same thing. I could give a quick, for instance, of how I
Oh,
use that.
oh yeah,
Um,
please.
so in the marijuana community, like I said, I would do cold messaging. This messaging would be like, hey, I see that you're using this product already. It's not like, hey, here's a new product, try it out. It's like,
Mhm.
you're already using this product. I'm like offering it to you less expensive. I'm talking to you one on one. It's coming from me. So it's like, it's very personal, like I said.
Mhm.
And I would send hundreds of these, there are limits on the Instagram for sending messages. So like I'll do it in the morning, for half an hour, I'll do it, afternoon, half an hour, end of the night, I'll do it half an hour. And a lot of times I'll get like people just responding, being like, oh, cool, thanks, I'll check it out. Not, I'm going to buy,
Mhm.
just like, oh, thank you. I appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah.
I add these people, I add everybody I message to my friends. So when I scroll down, so that's our communication. They say, cool, I'm interested. Maybe I'll check it out next time I need them or need them, which may be, months. Obviously,
Mhm.
they're going to forget, most likely. So when I go on my Instagram now, if I'm not cold messaging, because I've already cold messaged, like I said, I'm a very, very small market that I'm getting out to. So it's like hard to find new people consistently to message. So instead of doing these cold messages all day now in the marijuana community, I'll just scroll through my feed. Everybody that I've added to my friend, I know uses my product.
Mhm.
So I'll just scroll through the news feed. Anybody that posts a picture of something, I'll just like it and comment it. Um, I'll
Mhm.
do this for a half an hour at a time. Once again, there's limits on. Hey, sorry. Once again, there's limits on Instagram, so you have to be careful because you don't want to get shadow banned or banned.
That's right.
Um, so because I would send these messages, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm interested," but they forget. Eventually, they post something and they say, "Oh, a comment." Like they maybe get a couple comments on their post, so they get a comment from me and they're like, "Oh, I totally forgot about this guy." And I've had this response happen many a time where I'll post a comment, be like, yo, that looks great. Like, good job. Keep up the good work. Something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll respond being like, oh man, I totally forgot you sent out that message. Like next time, like I'm ordering this week. It's coming from
Let's go. That's it.
So yeah, just micro, like just messages, just like showing like, hey, just a little, hey, you know, just
Yeah,
get your face out there.
that
Um,
works. It's a good strategy.
It works. Yeah. I know we have to keep this one short, so there's one other thing I
Oh
just
yeah.
started doing that I want to kind of explain that I'm pretty excited about.
Oh yeah.
So I
Sounds good.
have so I sell on Amazon these chalk bags for my disc golf thing. I've been doing that for 3 weeks. I started selling them while we were doing these podcasts. So it's cool we could talk about it as it goes on.
Oh yeah. True.
Um and right now I'm buying them. I sell on Amazon. I also sell on my website and on Etsy. And on my website is where I make the most money, because there's no Etsy fees, there's no Amazon fees. Um, so what I just started doing is I'm selling on Amazon, and people that buy on Amazon, they don't know about my website. They don't know about any of that. They just saw my product um, on Amazon, and I still ship the products from my
Oh, it just cut out for a second. Oh wait, for some reason it's super lagging. Oh no. Hello? Fun. All right. Well, we're gonna end the podcast here. We just had a little technical difficulty. So Ryan, you want to wrap up what your thought was before we disconnected?
Yeah, yeah, real fast. And sorry, my camera's not working. I hope this is recording. But as I was saying, I am selling from Amazon, I'm selling from home. Okay, so my goal is I'd rather people buy from my website than from Amazon because Amazon takes these and even Etsy takes these huge fees.
Hmm.
So now that I'm selling like 2 to 3 bags per day from Amazon, shipping them out, I decided to buy stickers, and it's just a sticker that goes like on the wrapping of my product, and it just says, Gripply's, gets the name out there, and it says gripplys.com, and it shows my Instagram. And then I also send out a business card type thing that says, this is my website, and it shows my website on it, and it's like, give this to a friend or keep it for yourself. It's a 15% off code to my website off like your entire order. It's
Yeah.
basically just telling the person like, hey, you could buy from Amazon, and they probably realize, or you could buy from, the website. And there's more cool
Yeah.
things that I don't sell on Amazon on my website. So that's a way to address an audience that's already a customer, because that's huge. If you like cold messaging, it's like you may get a few people to be potential.
Hmm.
This way, it's like it's already a customer. And that
That's
takes them to your
a very good
website,
point.
gives them way more options of things to buy, and eliminates the fees of Amazon if it works, which I'm
Yeah.
hoping it will. Yeah.
That's a very good point. That's a great way to end the podcast because if someone's already buying from you, direct them to the place that's going to get you the most money, whether that be, that's probably going to be your own website over Etsy, Amazon, or eBay. So great strategy. Looks like you bought business cards and stickers and then directing traffic to your website. So great strategy. Great talk today. We'll be doing this again next week for an episode 5. So thanks for all the listeners. And Ryan, thank you. I'll talk to you soon,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. Good stuff. Looking forward to the future.
Yeah, that's right. Keep selling, everybody. Keep it up.
Yay.
And